I'll go to the party unless it rains. Am I going to the party? If you had to stop and think about that, good, that's the right reaction. Welcome back to Linking Words. In this video, we will discuss the linking words that help us describe the things that haven't happened yet. We will divide the words into three main groups. Words that a condition, when is this true? Words that give a purpose, what were you trying to make happen? And words that talk about future time. And here's the thing about all of them. You already know a linking word that's close. You know if, you know so, you know because. We will learn new words today and learn which specific situations they fit. Let's go. Let's start with the example. I'll take an umbrella if it rains. In this sentence, I have no umbrella. I'm looking out of the window. If I see rain, then I'll pick it up. I'll take an umbrella in case it rains. Here, the umbrella is already in my bag. I don't know if it will rain. I packed it anyway. That's the whole difference. If is a reaction. Something happens, then you act. In case is a preparation. You act first because something might happen later. Take some cash in case the card machine is broken. The cash goes in your pocket now. Save your work in case the computer crashes. I'll write down the address in case I forget it. Bring a jacket in case it gets cold. Every one of those is something you do before you know. That's in case. Now the word from the opening sentence. Unless. Unless means one thing, except if. So the main plan is true. And unless names the one thing that would cancel it. That's why the answer to my question was yes. I'll go to the party unless it rains. The plan is to go. Rain is the only thing that stops me. You'll miss the train unless you leave now. You're going to miss it. Leaving now is the escape. I'll see you tomorrow unless something changes. She doesn't eat meat unless it's a special occasion. Now the trap. And this is the most common mistake with this word. Unless already contains a not inside it, so you don't add another one. You'll be late unless you don't leave now is wrong. Right sentence is, you'll be late unless you leave now. If you ever hear yourself say unless and don't in the same breath, stop. One of them has to go. Here's a word that says the exact same thing from the other direction. Otherwise. You'll be late unless you leave now. Leave now. Otherwise, you'll be late. Same warning. Same two facts. But look at where the words sit. Unless lives in the middle of one sentence. Otherwise starts a new sentence, and the bad news comes after it. Write it down, otherwise you'll forget. Book the table today, otherwise there won't be any space. In casual speech, people often say or else instead. Write it down, or else you'll forget. Same meaning, more relaxed. One more condition word, and this one has a different feeling. Unless and otherwise both carry a warning. As long as doesn't, it's a condition, but a friendly one. You can borrow my car as long as you fill the tank. We'll be fine as long as it doesn't snow. I don't mind waiting as long as you call me. You can hear the feeling in it. It's permission with one small rule attached. In formal writing, you'll see provided that doing exactly the same job. You may enter provided that you have a ticket. Same meaning, you'll read it more than you'll say it. Now before we move on, one grammar rule covers every single word we just learned. And it saves you from a very common mistake. All of these words point at the future, but you do not use will after them. You use the present tense. Not unless it will rain, unless it rains. Not in case it will get cold, in case it gets cold. Not as long as you will pay, as long as you pay. Why? Because the future is already in the other half of the sentence. I'll take an umbrella in case it rains. The I'll is carrying the future. The condition doesn't need to carry it too. One future per sentence. That's all it is. Remember that rule? We're going to need it again at the end of this video. Second group, you already know how to say what happened. I was tired, so I went to bed. I went to bed because I was tired. Both of those look backwards. They explain a cause and a result. But there's a third question they can't answer. Not what happened, but what were you trying to make happen? That's purpose. And it's the difference between a result and a goal. The simplest way to give a purpose is one word. To. I went to the shop to buy milk. She called to apologize. I'm saving money to travel next year. You probably use this already. Keep using it. It's the most natural option. But it has a limit. And that limit is exactly why so that exists. Here's the limit. To only works when the same person does both actions. I went to the shop to buy milk. I went, I bought, same person, fine. Now try this. I left the door open. Why? Because I wanted the cat to come in. You cannot say, I left the door open to the cat come in. That falls apart. Because now there are two characters, one person and one cat. I did the first action, the cat does the second one. When that happens, you need so that. I left the door open so that the cat could come in. I'll speak slowly so that everyone can understand. She wrote it down so that he wouldn't forget. Turn the light on so that I can see. Different person in the second half. So that. Now this matters because you already learned so in an earlier video. And so that are not the same word. I was tired, so I went to bed. That's a result. It happened, tired, then bed. I went to bed early so that I wouldn't be tired. That's a goal. It hasn't happened yet. It's what I was hoping for. So looks at what came after. So that looks at what I wanted. One honest note. In fast speech, people often drop the that. I left early so I wouldn't miss the train. I know it's complex, but it makes your speaking practice easier. Don't drop the that while writing. Last one for purpose, and it's easy. In order to is just a more formal to. We raised prices in order to cover our costs. Please arrive early in order to complete the paperwork. Same meaning as plain to. Use it in writing, in emails, in presentations. In conversation, to is better. In order to will sound stiff. Right. Third group, and it's short. 2 words for future time. And remember that grammar rule I told you we'd need again? Here it is. First word. As soon as means immediately when that happens. No gap, no waiting. I'll call you as soon as I arrive. We'll start as soon as everyone is here. As soon as the shop opens, I'm going in. Now listen carefully. I'll call you as soon as I arrive. Not as soon as I will arrive. The arriving is in the future, but the word is arrive, present tense. Why? Same reason as before. The aisle at the front is already carrying the future. 1 future per sentence. Second word, by the time. By the time means when that moment arrives, this other thing has already happened. By the time we got to the cinema, the film had started. We arrived, the film was already going. By the time I got home, the dinner was cold. Leave now. By the time you get there, it'll be dark. And look at that last one again. By the time you get there, present tense, not will get. Same rule, third time. That's your whole grammar point for the video, and it covers 5 different words. Unless, in case, as long as soon as, by the time, after all of them. Present tense, never will. All right, let's find out what's stuck. I'll give you a sentence with a gap. You say the missing word out loud. I'll wait a few seconds, then give you the answer and the reason. Pause the video anytime you need longer. Ready? 1. Take some cash, blank, the card machine is broken. In case. You're putting the cash in your pocket now before you know. That's preparation, not reaction. 2. You'll miss your flight, blank, you leave right now. Unless. Leaving now is the one thing that saves you. And notice, no second not. 3. Hurry up, blank will miss the beginning. Otherwise, it starts a new sentence and the bad news comes right after it. 4. You can stay another night, blank, you're out by 10. As long as. That's permission with one small rule attached, no warning in it. 5. I spoke slowly, blank, everyone could follow me. So that. I did the speaking, but everyone does the following. 2 different people, so 2 won't work here. 6. I went to bed early, blank, I wouldn't be tired. So that again, and this one is the important one. Not so. So would make it a result, something that happened. This is a goal, it's what I wanted. 7. Blank, we found the restaurant, the kitchen had closed. By the time. We arrived at one moment and the closing had already happened before it. How did you do? If some of those slipped past you, that's completely normal. These words are very similar to each other, and that's exactly what makes them hard. Go back to that chapter and watch it once more. Before the recap, one challenge. In the comments, write 2 sentences about tomorrow. One with in case, one with so that, and check your tense. If you wrote will after in case, fix it before you post. Pause and write them now. Done? Nice work. Take a screenshot of this. It's the whole video on one screen. For conditions, in case you prepare before you know. If you react after you know. Unless, except if, and never with a second not. Otherwise, the bad thing that happens if you don't. As long as treat permission with a small rule attached. For purpose. 2. When the same person does both actions. So that, when it's a different person. In order to, the formal version of to. And remember, so is a result, so that is a goal. For future time. As soon as, immediately when it happens. By the time, it had already happened before that moment. And the one rule that ties the whole video together. After all of these words, use the present tense, never will. One future per sentence. One last thought. Don't try to use all of these tomorrow. Pick 2. Use them until they feel boring. Then come back for 2 more. That's how these words move from a list into your actual speaking. And if you haven't watched the first half of this lesson yet, the link is on your screen. That one covers contrast and examples, words like though, despite, and such as. If this helped, please help us. Like the video and subscribe for more. Share it with someone who's learning English alongside you. See you in the next one.